Okay. Okay. Some of us didn't join in time to meditate, so you'll have to figure it out. Okay. Welcome to Ramana Maharshi's chapter from the book Be As You Are. Name of the chapter is The Nature of the Self. In this particular session, we are going to start with a self-exploration. What is self-exploration? Self-exploration can be treated like a meditation, but you do not go to sleep or get lost in a trance or get lost in the pleasantness of it. No, that is not what a self-exploration is. Self-exploration is the English translation of the Sanskrit word Atma-vichara, or inner self-investigation. Atma-vichara. So what is Atma-vichara? Even if my eyes are closed, with my eyes closed, I am really exploring my inner environment. I am exploring the body, the mind, and going beyond the body and mind. So for that, I have to be 100% alert, 100% awake. I cannot go to sleep, I cannot get lost in a trance, and I cannot get lost in, I am in bliss and in the pleasantness of words. No. Then you're not doing Atma-vichara. Yes, Atma-vichara is where I'm 100% alert. I will be asking you questions, and those questions are specially designed for inner exploration. So see if you can reach the answer before Ekta gives the answer in the next sentence. Very clear? What is a self-exploration? Yeah. In other words, it's a self-inquiry. First part of it will be done with eyes open, and then we will close our eyes. See that you are not disturbed by anybody around. Preferably close the door of your room. If you need to move your laptop or computer to another move, now is a good time. Move right now. So to give you a background, Sri Ramana Maharshi, he taught only one wisdom, the nature of the self. That's it. He did not teach anything else. If you have read the introduction of the book, you already know a little bit about him. He got enlightened as a teenager, a very young boy. He was devoid of the conditioning of scriptures that you have all read. He never went into scriptures or to a guru or to anybody. It was a sudden enlightenment. So in that sudden enlightenment, he tasted the self and he recognized it. And that moment, the person died. What is the meaning of the person? Body, mind, intellect, memory, and ego. This is what constitutes the person. In Sanskrit, it is called jiva. We identify with the body, mind, intellect, memory, and ego and think this is who I am. We think this jiva is who I am. During Ramana Maharshi's enlightenment, he realized, oh, I am not this jiva. I am beyond this jiva. Means I am beyond the body, beyond the mind, beyond the intellect, beyond the memory, and even beyond that which says I. I is the ego. Yes? And he saw this in his own Atma-vichara, in his own self-exploration. So we will now attempt a mini self-exploration like Ramana Maharshi. Yes? Everybody is ready for that? Yeah. Then we'll talk a little more about Ramana Maharshi after the self-exploration. First part of the self-exploration we will do with eyes open. Then I'll give you the instruction to close your eyes. Do not make any notes during the self-exploration. Keep your book and pen aside. Just sit comfortably. Yeah, we do this very innocently. Ramana Maharshi was 14 years old when he got enlightened. Okay? Let's take our mind back to that innocent age when I was very simple, innocent, devoid of conditioning and had not read any scriptures. Yeah? I was very simple, very innocent, childlike. Yeah? Like that. With that innocence, with that love for our own self. That's how we begin the Atma Vichara, self-exploration. So sit comfortably, easily. Be very comfortable in your chair. And simply look around your room. Look around the room, dropping all names and forms. How a baby would look around. A baby does not know names and forms. Innocently, simply. Recognize that you are perceiving through the sense of sight. This is called perception of sight. And you are perceiving so-called physical objects, whatever objects are there in your room. You are perceiving them through the sense of sight. Now let's close our eyes. When the eyes are closed, you are perceiving the absence of the same physical objects. Again, let's test this again. Open our eyes. This is perception of the presence of physical objects. Perception of sight. Presence of physical objects. Now close your eyes. Perception of absence of physical objects. And let's keep the eyes closed now. I can perceive the presence of physical objects. I can perceive the absence of physical objects. It means I am the subject. I, the subject, was perceiving the presence of objects, and now I am perceiving the absence of objects. Subject and object are always different. Subject and object are not the same. This means I am separate from perception of sight. I am separate from that which I can perceive. Do you recognize that you are separate from perception of sight? Do you recognize that you are the subject and whatever images you saw, whatever shapes you saw, whatever forms you saw with eyes open, they were objects. You are the subject and they are objects. They are perception of sight. Similarly, you can hear a voice and you can hear certain words. I can perceive sound, so I am separate from the perception of sound. If there is a smell in your surrounding, a perfume, a fragrance, or a foul smell, I can perceive the smell. So, I am separate from the perception of smell. Your body is touching the chair on which you are sitting. I can perceive touch, so I am separate from the perception of touch. Notice if there is a taste in your mouth, even if it is a bland taste. I can perceive taste, so I am separate from the perception of taste. I am not perceptions. Perceptions are not who I am. Let's take our attention to the body. Maybe you're feeling cool or warm. Take your attention to that coolness or warmth sensation. Maybe there is pain somewhere or some discomfort in the body. Pain or discomfort are also sensations. Take your attention to the sensations. Maybe there's a growling sensation in the stomach. Maybe somewhere it is itching. These are all physical sensations. I can perceive the sensations. It means I am the subject and the physical sensations are the object. I, the subject, am perceiving the object. Subject and object are always different. This means that I am not the physical sensations. The physical body is nothing but this mass of sensations. I can perceive the entire mass of sensations from the top of the head all the way to the toes. Take your attention from the top of the head and slowly all the way to the toes. Now take your attention from the tips of the toes all the way to the top of the head. I can perceive this entire physical body from top to bottom, from bottom to top. What does that mean? It means that I am not the body. How can I be that which I can perceive? If I can perceive something, it is definitely separate from me. Ask yourself the question, do you recognize that I am not the body? Now let's take our attention beyond the body. What is there beyond the physical sensations? Can you go beyond? To go beyond, we have to just refrain from indulging in the physical sensation. You might observe certain thoughts, certain feelings. Whatever thoughts arise and fall, observe them. If your head is falling, that means you are sleeping. Sit up straight. What is there beyond the physical sensations? Can you notice the thoughts arise and fall? I can perceive these thoughts. It means I am the subject and these thoughts are the object. I, the subject, am perceiving the object. Subject and object are always different, not the same. This means that I am not the thoughts. I am not even the feelings that are rising and falling. Because I can see something arise and fall, it means I am separate from it. The mind is nothing but these thoughts and feelings. I can perceive the entire mind. If I can perceive the mind, it means I am not the mind. So far we have realized I am not the body because I can perceive the entire mass of sensations called physical body. How can I be what I am perceiving? It has to be separate from me. I am not the mind because I can perceive the contents of this mind. I can perceive thoughts and feelings arise and fall, arise and fall. So naturally, I am separate from what I can perceive. I am not the body, I am not the mind. So if I am not the body and I am not the mind, I am not these thoughts and feelings, I am not sensations, and I am not even the world of perception of sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. What am I? Who am I? Let's look beyond. Look beyond the sensations of the body. Look beyond the thoughts. Look beyond the feelings. Reject what you are not now. Now you've understood I'm not sensations, I'm not perceptions, I'm not thoughts, I'm not feelings. Reject what you are not. And go beyond. Are you able to recognize that I'm not able to look beyond? There is just a sense of no thingness here. It is just an emptiness. Why am I not able to perceive anything here the way I could perceive at the physical and mental levels? At the physical level, I could perceive the sensation. At the mental level, I could perceive the thought and feelings. But when I look beyond sensations, thoughts and feelings, there is no thing there. It's a space of no thingness. Why is it that I cannot perceive anything here? Just like the two eyes on the face cannot see themselves but can see the entire world. Similarly, I, this no thingness, I, the perceiver, can perceive all physical and mental objects, but I cannot perceive myself. I cannot see myself, but I can sense myself. Oh, this is what I am. This nothingness, this emptiness. I can just sense myself being. That is why it is called the sense of being. The sense of I am. Now explore this nothingness. Is it a dead emptiness or is it alive? You will notice it is alive and conscious. Oh, my nature is absolute emptiness and nothingness, but that nothing is not dead, it is alive, it is conscious in itself. It is like an empty background in which suddenly a thought pops up, suddenly a feeling comes up, suddenly a sensation appears, suddenly a perception appears, and suddenly they all disappear also. All perceptions, thoughts, feelings, sensations arise and they fall away. They are continuously changing, but this emptiness, this background of nothingness is permanent. Do you notice when there are no thoughts, feelings, sensations and perceptions, there is just an emptiness, a quietness there? This background is itself the sense of being, the sense of existing. In Sanskrit, it is called Sat. In the absence of any mental and physical objects, there is a quietness. There is just the quiet sense of existing. In Hindi language, होने का एहसास. In Sanskrit, Sat. It is the sense of being. Keep your eyes closed and just be with the sense of being. Notice when a thought comes up or a sensation comes up, then what happens? The same background knows that there is a sensation, knows that there is a thought. That is the moment the Sat changes to Chid. Chid means that which knows, that which is conscious of something. So when there is a perception, sensation, thought or feeling to know, that time the background knows. It is conscious of it. It is called consciousness or Chid. When thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions just fall and there is just a quietness, then the background has nothing to know. Then the knowingness collapses and it is just a state of being. That is called Sat. Do you notice that this background is devoid of any pain or pleasure? You can nod your head. It's an Atma Vichara. Do you notice that this background is devoid of excitement? Do you recognize that this background is devoid of depression? It is a straight line of equanimity, of peace. This is called Ananda. I am Satchit Ananda. I am the Self. I am the consciousness. I am the knowingness. In fact, I am knowledge itself. Just be in that nothingness, in that emptiness. In that nothingness, when a thought or feeling, sensation arises, that is called the waking state. When there is no thought, no feeling, no sensation to disturb, when you are absolutely in quietness, that is akin to the deep sleep state, absence of physical and mental objects, the deep sleep state. Oh, everything arises in me and everything falls back into me. I, the nothingness, am that quiet, silent background. In fact, I am the center around which everything revolves. I am the heart of everything. Now, the most important Atma Vichara to do. Can you find an I there? Look for the one that said, I am the Satchit Anand. Can you find the I? Look, go within. Follow the I. Can you find a localized I there? Does the nothingness speak and say, I am nothingness? If you follow the I, you will notice the I drops. it disappears into the nothingness. That is the absolute reality that is devoid of a personal I. It is devoid of a separate individual self. So this nothingness, this emptiness is actually a field devoid of a personal I. It is a universal field. There is no I there. It is more of an us, a universal field. That is absolute reality. How many of us could glimpse, at least get one single glimpse? Yes? Thumbs up or put a hand up. Even if you got 1 second glimpse, perfect. That's good enough. Yeah? Pat yourself on the back from Ekta. Yeah? Good job done. Even if you got a glimpse, that's perfect. Now as you got the glimpse, now you will understand the chapter. This chapter cannot be understood without getting the first glimpse. Yes, this glimpse is the most important thing. Glimpse of what? Oh, that recognition of that nothingness that I am, in which a thought arises and disturbs me, in which a feeling arises and consumes my attention. But everything falls away eventually. And there is this nothingness, emptiness. There's nothing there. Yeah? I cannot even look back at it. Yeah, I cannot perceive it. Just like the eyes can see the world, but can the eyes see themselves? Can your own eyes see themselves? No. Just like that, I, the perceiver, or that field of nothingness, I can see the thoughts, I can see the feelings arise, I can feel that emotional turmoil going on, I can see it go on inside, I can perceive sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. But one thing I cannot perceive, oh, that is who I am. The seer cannot see itself. The perceiver cannot perceive itself. I can only sense myself. Yeah? So all of us understood that sense, the sense of being now? Everybody? Okay. that sense of being, that sense of I am, that is called the self. So now we'll start with the chapter, the nature of the self. But before the chapter, if you look on the previous page, there is one paragraph about the self. Can you go to that page on which the single paragraph is on the self? Give me a thumbs up once you're there. Okay. The self, that in which all these worlds seem to exist steadily. Yeah? So that nothingness, that space of nothingness in which worlds, perception of sight, perception of sound, perception of taste, perception of smell, where thoughts arose, feelings arose. Yeah? This is my world. I have a personal world. Yeah? In that space where all these worlds seem to exist steadily. That of which all these worlds are a possession. Yeah? That space, that field of nothingness seems to possess the thoughts, seems to possess the feelings and say, oh, my feelings, seems to possess all of it. It's only seems, huh? Seems means that which is only apparent, but it is not in reality. That from which all these worlds rise. So you notice that thoughts arose in that nothingness, played and fell back into the nothingness. Yeah? Feelings arose, played and went back into it. In fact, you could hear Ekta's voice. Even that perception of sound arose and fell back into the nothingness. So that is where all these worlds rise. That for which all these exist. All these thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions, they exist for the nothingness. Yeah? This we will understand as we go deeper into the chapter. Yeah? The nothingness or the consciousness itself has projected the world. It is enjoying a movie. Yeah? So it exists for the nothingness or consciousness. That by which all these worlds come into existence. All these came into existence from that field of nothingness. And that which is indeed all these. If you go deeper into this exploration, you can recognize that that thought that arose is made up of the same thing as the nothingness. It is not made up of a separate material. Yeah, like wood and stone are two separate materials. It's not that the nothingness is a separate material and thought is a separate material. If you go deeper and deeper into it and see, oh, thought arises and passes away in it. And thought is made of the same substance as that nothingness or emptiness or consciousness or awareness, whatever word you like. That alone is the existing reality. Let us cherish that self, which is the reality in the heart. Yeah, so we start with this and he'll explain all these terms, the heart, the self, in the chapter coming up. Can I move ahead? Everybody good? Okay. The nature of the self. The essence of Sri Ramana's teachings is conveyed in his frequent assertions that there is a single immanent reality, directly experienced by everyone, which is simultaneously the source, the substance and the real nature of everything that exists. Yeah? That reality is that nothingness that you got a glimpse of. Everything is made up of this nothingness. Everything comes out from this. That means that is the source. The nothingness is the source out of which the thoughts, the feelings, the sensations, the perception of sight, sound, taste, touch, smell arise. Yeah? From that source everything comes up. Everything is made up of it, which means the substance, and it is also the real nature. The real nature of everything is nothingness, or awareness, or consciousness. Whatever word appealed to you, or the sense of being, hona, sense of existence. He gave it a number of different names, each one signifying a different aspect of the same indivisible reality. The following classification includes all of his more common synonyms and explains the implications of the various terms used. 1. The self. That is the term that he used the most frequently. He defined it by saying that the real self or real I is contrary to perceptible experience, not an experience of individuality, but a non-personal, all-inclusive awareness. Yeah? Let's see if I can find the correct slide. Okay. So number 1, real self is what? It is contrary to perceptible experience. Means what? What is perceptible experience? That which I can perceive. I could perceive the sensations in this body. Yeah? So, that is not I. I can perceive thoughts in the mind. So, that is not I. I can experience feelings coming up. Oh, that is not I. Anything that I can perceive means I am separate from it. Is this clear? I can perceive this iPad. I can perceive it, I can see it, I can touch it. I can perceive the iPad means I am separate from the iPad. So this is perceptible experience. Similarly, I can perceive this world of sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. So that is not I. Yeah? So I am not perceptions. I can perceive sensations going on in this body. Yes? So that means I am separate from this mass of sensations. And what is a physical body? Nothing but mass of sensations. That's what is the physical body. Oh, I am not the body because I can perceive it. It's a perceptible experience. Similarly, mind. Thoughts come up, feelings come up, emotions do their dance and drama. I can experience the whole staged drama of the mind. Perceptible experience. Aha, I am not this. I am separate from this. Very clear? Now when I go to the space beyond the body and the mind, could I perceive anything there? Could anybody perceive anything there? No, there was nothing there. No thingness. I could not perceive. Yeah? That is what I am. That which I cannot perceive, but I can just be. There's just a sense of being. Yeah? I cannot perceive anything there beyond that. Yeah? So, is that very clear? So, contrary to perceptible experience. That is what is real self. It is not an experience of individuality, but a non-personal, all-inclusive awareness. And when we looked for the I told you can you locate the I? Could you locate it? Could you find an entity called I in that nothingness? No, when you go looking for the I, it disappears. There is no I there. Yeah, so it is non-personal. Yeah, so now this field of nothingness, can I say, oh, this is a private field of nothingness, and Anna has her own private field of nothingness, and Samata has her own field of nothingness? Now also close your eyes and see, is it private? Is it just mine? Can I demarcate a border on the right, left, top, bottom? Can I find a border? Can I limit it? Oh, it's limitless. I cannot find a border. I cannot really demarcate it and say it is mine. Yeah, so it is not only non-personal, it is infinite. It is not only non-personal, it is infinite. Yeah? Infinite means what? How many infinities can there be? There can only be one infinity. And we share that one infinity. Yeah? So it is an all-inclusive. All-inclusive. All 7 billion of us are included in it. All plants, all animals, the entire world, everything is included in that infinity. Yeah? It's an all-inclusive awareness. Awareness simply is used for the sense of being. When you were there, you had the sense of being. I exist, I am. I cannot perceive anything there, but I have a sense of being, a sense of existing. In Hindi, होने का एहसास, the sense of I am. Yes, that is awareness. Yeah, so it is an all-inclusive awareness. It is not to be confused with the individual self. Here he means the soul, okay, the privately owned soul, my soul versus your soul. Yeah, it is not to be confused with that individual self or individual soul, which he said was essentially non-existent. Such a thing does not exist, he says. Being a fabrication of the mind which obscures the true experience of the real self. Yeah, private soul, an individual soul, an individual self, that which I hold on to, that obscures my vision of this real self, this real nothingness, because I'm so caught up in this idea of mine and I am separate from the other. Yeah? He says this is a fabrication of the mind, means it's a mind-made story. In Hindi, man ghadan kahani. a story created by the mind. He maintained that the real self is always present. Isn't it present now also? The sense of I am? Anybody has a sense of I am not right now? Does anybody have a sense of I do not exist right now? Is it even possible to have such a sense? No. Do you get it? So it is ever present. It is impossible to have that experience of I was not present or I do not exist. Then who is saying I do not exist? Yeah? Story created by the mind. Yeah? Recognize this. It is ever present. And always experienced. All the time you experience it. But he emphasized that one is only consciously aware of it as it is really, is when the self-limiting tendencies of the mind have ceased. Yeah? In that self-exploration, I told you, now refrain from thinking about the thoughts, refrain from the feelings. You let go everything, and then for a glimpse you got that no-thingness. Yeah? So you drop the self-limiting tendencies of the mind. Even if it was for a few seconds, you went there, you got the glimpse. And again, the self-limiting tendencies of the mind means thoughts, feelings, sensations, everything that keeps me busy in this drama, that came back. And then I lost the glimpse. Yeah? But that sense of I am is still there. With the thoughts, with the feelings, with all the drama going on inside. Notice that the sense of I am is there. Recognize it. It's only when I get consumed in the drama of thoughts, feelings and sensations, which is the limiting tendency of the mind, that I miss seeing this consciously. Very clear? Permanent and continuous self-awareness is known as self-realization. Please highlight or underline that. That's the most important sentence. A lot of Advaitins walk this path. They say, yay, I got a glimpse today. I am enlightened. I am there. Yes, anyway Advaita Vedanta says you were always enlightened. You didn't have to achieve or attain anything. Yeah? But the final goal is what? Permanent and continuous. Yeah? Don't forget this goal. A lot of Advaitins love to talk about all this knowledge and they can speak amazingly. They're fantastic orators. But in real life, if you want to really examine yourself, real true test is what? Am I permanently and continuously recognizing that nothingness in which this thought is arising, in which this feeling is arising, in which the family member came in, which was nothing but perception of sight and sound, and did some drama and went away. Did I continuously through the drama of that family member have this recognition that I am that nothingness that is untouched by this drama? Yes? That day you can pat yourself on the back. That is where I have reached self-realization. Yeah? And it's not just drama about the other people. You yourself create so much drama in your own mind. Yeah? With all that feelings and the turbulences, the volcanoes of emotions inside, can I recognize I am that nothingness in which this has arisen and I remain untouched. So permanent and continuous self-awareness. Self-awareness means recognizing I am that nothingness, that field of silence. Very clear? Yeah. Number one is very clear. self. Yeah, we move on to number 2, Sat Chit Ananda. This we already know this word, Sat Chit Ananda. This is a Sanskrit term which translates as being, consciousness, bliss. Sri Ramana taught that the self is pure being, a subjective awareness of I am, which is completely devoid of the feeling I am this or I am that. Now, do you know why I use the word it is nothingness? A field of nothingness? Because you like to usually label yourself, I am the mother, I am the daughter, I am the husband, I am the father, I am this, I am that. Even labels of your mind, I am an angry person, oh, I am a very confident person, I am an Advaitin, new label. I am a spiritualist. Oh, I am greater than those mere mortals who are ignorant in this world. Many labels, you like this and that a lot. Yeah, and you hold on to that. That is why I called it field of nothingness. No labels. Yes. So the sense of I am devoid of I am this and I am that. There are no subjects or objects in the self. There is only an awareness of being. We did this in the meditation again and again. I am the subject, the thought was the object, the feeling was the object, the perception was the object. Yeah, but the moment I came to I could not perceive anything there. Yeah, the seer cannot be seen. I cannot perceive myself. The perceiver cannot be perceived. Then I recognize, oh, there's nothing there. And then the I rests. The I collapses. Even if a glimpse you got of the collapse of the I where you could not find anything. And that field of nothingness. Yeah, you were right there where there is no subject and no object. Remember, I, the witness, that also has to collapse there to get this experience of no subject and no object. Even if I say, I am witnessing the thought, that means I, the witness, am the subject and the thought is the object. Very clear? This is the next step where the object also collapses and the witness, which is the subject, also collapses. And there is just the sense of being. And I cannot find a personal I there anymore. Yeah? So that is where there is no subject and no object. There is only awareness of being. Hone ka ehsaas, translated into Hindi. Yeah? In Marathi, ashne. Maharaj uses this word a lot because he speaks in Marathi. Ashne, yeah, to be, just the sense of being. Because this awareness is conscious, it is also known as consciousness. That nothingness was not dead, it was alive, it was conscious. And what is the meaning of conscious? Conscious means I have the ability to be conscious of something. Then I am the consciousness. Clear? I, the consciousness, am conscious of an arising thought and setting thought. I, the consciousness, am conscious of a feeling that arises and sets. I, the consciousness, am conscious of a perception that arises and falls. That is why it is called consciousness. So only at the witness level can you call it consciousness. Because the moment there is nothing to know, nothing to witness, the knowingness or the witness collapses and there is just the being. So the sense of being, which is Sat, has the quality of consciousness, of knowing something, when there is something to know. When there is nothing to know, the witness consciousness quality of it collapses and there is just the sense of being, which is Sat. Very clear what is Sat and what is Chid? Sat is the sense of being. Chid is the sense of knowing. The witness knows the object. The knowingness knows the object. When the Chid or the knowingness function is not required anymore, it has collapsed, there is just the function of being, Sat. Did I explain that well? Did you get it? Give me a thumbs up if you got that. Okay. The direct experience of this consciousness is, according to Sri Ramana, a state of unbroken happiness, and so the term Ananda or bliss is also used to describe it. We checked this in our Atma Vichara, in our self-exploration. Was there any depression or sadness there? Was there any excitement over there? No, it was a very quiet, straight line of equanimity, peace. There was nothing there. Yeah? That quiet, straight line of equanimity is bliss, is peace, is devoid of excitement, and it's devoid of even depression. Yeah? That is the true happiness. Yeah? Where the graph does not go up, the graph does not go down. It is a central, straight, quiet line. A straight line of peace. These three aspects, being, consciousness and bliss, are experienced as a unitary whole and not as separate attributes of the self. They are inseparable in the same way that wetness, transparency and liquidity are inseparable properties of water. Yeah, they are not separate, but they are all three the nature or the functions or its qualities. Yeah, like the sun in the sky, the sun gives you warmth. So warmth is its quality. It gives you light. Light is its quality. Can you separate the warmth and can you separate the light? No. That is its nature, like that. The nature of the self, this field of no-thingness, is Sat Chit Anand. The sense of being, the sense of I am is Sat. The sense of being conscious and alive. It's not a dead emptiness or dead no-thingness. It's alive, it's conscious. When there is an object to be conscious of, it is conscious. Yeah? So it is termed as consciousness, Chid. And it is devoid of pain and pleasure. It is that soft, silent, straight line of equanimity. That is Ananda. That is bliss. How many of you were looking for some excited happiness to be there continuously 24/7? It is not that kind of excited happiness, always on seventh heaven. No. It's a very soft, silent peace, an equanimous state. Clear? Can I move on to the next? These are different names for the same thing, for the same self, the same field of nothingness. Yeah? So we did 2 names, we did self and we did Satchit Ananda. Now we go to number 3, God. Sri Ramana maintained that the universe is sustained by the power of the self. Since theists normally attribute this power to God, he often used the word God as a synonym for the self. He also used the words Brahman, the supreme being of Hinduism, and Shiva, a Hindu name for God, in the same way. Yeah? These are not external gods, okay? Sri Ramana is very clear that this entire external world also exists, manifests because of that self. That field of nothingness itself has projected this body, mind and the world. Yeah? And this will open up as we go further. Those who've already done the Guru session with me last year, we have completed the projection part already. How everything is my own projection. Sri Ramana's God is not a personal God. He is the formless being which sustains the universe. He is not the creator of the universe. The universe is merely a manifestation of its inherent power. He is inseparable from it, but he is not affected by its appearance or its disappearance. Yeah, that field of nothingness that you experience, that itself is God. That field of nothingness, that self, that consciousness, that absolute reality forgets that it is God. It plays a game with itself. Because he became lonely, God wanted to play with not God. Yeah? So, he projects himself only in the form of the mind. That is not God. Now, not God wants a body. So, it projects itself as the physical body. And this body projects itself as the perception of sight, sound, smell, taste and touch, which is labeled as the world. Everything is simply a projection. This is not theoretical. This is very experiential. Do you have the proof right now that you are not in a dream? This could be a dream, right? The dream has exactly the same quality. You would be on Zoom with Ekta over there, explaining the same things to you. You do not have proof that this is not a dream. The only difference is that you say happens in the night when I'm lying down in bed. Yeah, but there also you forget yourself. You forget the person lying in bed. You become the dream character and you start flying in the air with your friends. What is that? That is just a dream. That seems so real. If you are fearful while flying in the air, you actually experience that fear. You experience it in your stomach. You experience it in your chest region. Yeah? So even that is so real. Exactly like that. This experience seems very real. This is the waking dream. That's the only difference. Yeah? Jagrit Swapna, the waking dream. In this also, everything is a projection. And mind you, just like the dream at night, I can only experience that which I see through these 2 eyes. I can only experience through the perception. I can only experience the perception that I have through these 5 senses of this body mind. It's exactly like the dream. who is the God of that dream in the night where you were flying in space? Who was the God? You. You created that world. You created that dream world in which you and all your friends started flying in space. Let me see, I had a slide made for you. I don't think I have it here. I'll show it to you tomorrow. Yeah? You and your friends are happily flying in space. You created that big dream world. You are the God of that dream world. You are the creator of that dream world. The dream character, the person flying in the air, can that person, the dream character, ever know the God lying in bed who's creating the dream? No. He can only sense it. There is something. This is not real. There is only a sense of I am. Yeah, but you can never directly know that God. You can only sense that God. The sense of I am. That sense of being. Yes, exactly like that. This is a waking dream. Yeah, Ekta is your creation. Yeah? You are creating this dream character called Ekta, and she comes into your dream and she is telling you this knowledge. It is all your creation. Yeah? You are God. There is no other God other than you. You, that self, that field of nothingness, that sense of I am. Yeah? And it's not a personal God, just like we saw that field of nothingness is infinite. How many infinities can there be? Just one. It's just one God. Yes? Just one single God. Yeah? And that God is here. The God is not different from the self. And going ahead, when we learn the chapter on the Guru, he says, God, self and Guru, all are here inside. There is no external God, there is no external Guru. There is no self or anything separate other than I. And when you go looking for that I, even the I collapses. There is nothingness, just the sense of being. Yeah? Recognize this truth. Yeah? Then you won't have to go to a temple to look for God. And that's why Saint Kabir said, no, Moko kahan dhoonde re bande, main to tere paas mein. Where are you looking for me? God is telling you. Where are you looking for me, O seeker? I am right inside you. I am right where you are. Yeah? So stop seeking for God here and find Him here. Sri Ramana's God is not a personal God. He is the formless being which sustains the universe. Remember, he's talking about this personal universe that I have created. Yeah? He is not the creator of the universe. The universe is merely a manifestation of his inherent power. So when you were lying in bed and you were dreaming that you and your friends are flying in space, can you say you created the dream? Did you make a plan, a strategy, put it down on an Excel sheet? All these people are going to be there in the dream and we are all going to fly here and one person is going to be fearful and one is going to be happy? No, you could not plan your dream. You did not create it. Yet it is your own manifestation. Do you see the contradiction here? Yeah? I did not create it. Yet it is my own manifestation. God created us in His own image, no? He has given us that little power to recognize this, that see, I manifest my own dreams every night, yet I am not the creator. Yeah, so he is not the creator of the universe. The universe is merely a manifestation of his inherent power. He is inseparable from it, but he is not affected by its appearance or disappearance. When the dream world suddenly disappears and you wake up, does anything happen to you? Nothing happens to you. You're not affected by its disappearance. Similarly, if next night you dream the same thing and it appears again, you're not affected. Yeah? Similarly, I, that God, that field of nothingness, I am not affected. I am not affected by the appearance and disappearance of this world. I am not affected by the appearance and disappearance of thoughts and feelings. They just arise and they fall. Like a dream arises and falls away. I remain untouched. Even if I dream about a tiger running behind me, do I really get eaten up by the tiger? No. The tiger cannot touch me. Wake up and see. Only your mind creates the story that the husband said this, the wife said this, that the drama in the family is disturbing me, I am getting touched by it. All the story of the mind and ego. Till the time you are in the dream, you will believe that story. The moment you wake up, you'll recognize, oh, I am untouched by this. I am untouched by the appearance and disappearance of the family members' drama. Yeah? Then you are truly awakened. Then you have woken up. Number 4, the heart. Sri Ramana frequently used the Sanskrit word Hridayam when he was talking about the self. It is usually translated as the heart. But a more literal translation would be, this is the center. In using this particular term, he was not implying that there was a particular location or center for the self. He was merely indicating that the self was the source from which all appearances manifested. Got it? Heart does not mean a location. Now don't start looking, okay, where is that field of nothingness? Can I locate it? Close your eyes and see. Can you locate it? Oh, it's not there. I cannot find a localized position or point. Yeah? I cannot locate it. All he meant, it is the center or the source from which everything manifests and where everything goes back. Every morning when I wake up, doesn't everything manifest at that time? Yeah? The world, the people in my family, the sensations, thoughts, feelings, everything comes up. And in the night, everything goes away. Yeah? Every morning everything comes up, every night it disappears. In deep sleep there is none of this. Oh, it means that this is always there. The substratum of the nothingness is always there, in which there are thoughts, feelings, perception, sensation, and that is called the waking state. And then there is a state when there is no thoughts, no feelings, no sensations, no perception, but the nothingness is there. Deep sleep is just an absence of all these thoughts, perceptions, sensations. Yeah? So everything arises from it every morning. That is called the waking state. And every night in the deep sleep state, it vanishes into it. It is the center, Hridayam, the heart, the center. Yeah, it is used poetically, not the heart that pumps the blood. Yeah, I hope that's very clear. Jnana. I have changed the spelling just to make it easy to pronounce. Yeah, it's Gyan. The experience of the self is sometimes called Gyan or knowledge. This term should not be taken to mean that there is a person who has knowledge of the self, because in the state of self-awareness, there is no localized knower, and there is nothing that is separate from the self that can be known. Excuse me. Those who have reached that level in Advaita where we have started discussing about the background, and in this background how everything arises and falls, you will also start understanding that only when there is something to witness, then I, the witness, comes up. When there is nothing to witness, the witness, the knower, also collapses. Yes, when the knower collapses and there is no I, just a sense of being, this is what we are talking about here. This should not be taken to mean that there is a person who has the knowledge of the self, because in the state of self-awareness there is no localized knower. Yeah, that is why the witness and the witnessed object, this is taught at the first level of Advaita Vedanta. It is said that it is just the beginning step because of the seeker. The seeker only knows I, the witness, and the object. Yeah? So that is where we begin at Advaita level 1. But we progress finally to Advaita level 2 and 3, where finally the witness and the witnessed object both drop, and there is just the sense of being. Yeah? So you have to progress to level 3 to get Advaita in its completeness, in its entirety. And when you get to Advaita level 3, which is Ajatavada, at Ajatavada it becomes very clear there is no knower, no separate knower and object of knowing or object of knowledge. Actually, they are the same. For example, when you dream in the night, you become the dream character and you manifest a dream world. That dream character who's flying in space is you only. You are seeing through the eyes of that dream character and you are experiencing space. So space is the object of knowledge and that dream character flying in space is the subject, the one who is witnessing the object of knowledge or the one who is knowing. So I, the dream character, along with this dream world that is known, both have to collapse for me to awaken. Is this clear? Yeah? You cannot say, oh, the dream character has to be there, but the objects of knowledge collapse. No, both collapse, both are part of the dream. So now, draw a parallel to Advaita level 1. I, the witness, am witnessing the thoughts, the feelings, the sensations of the body. Means what? I am still in this waking dream. I am still the waking dream character experiencing the waking dream objects. Both have to drop the I-ness in me. I, that ego in me, that which makes me separate, that collapses along with that which I am experiencing. The dream ends and I awaken. That is called awakening. That is called enlightenment. Yes? When that happens, that is called true Gyan, true knowledge. Yeah? So there is no localized knower and there is nothing that is separate from the self that can be known. When I wake up from the dream, was I the dream character real who was knowing the dream world? Was there something in that dream world really to be known? Oh no, it's all over, boof, gone. It's the end. So there's nothing to be known. There's no knower also. You just awaken. Now stop imagining this as an out of the world magical experience. No out of the world magical experience. You being in this state can recognize the drop of the I. When we were doing the self-exploration, did we all recognize for 1 second the I dropped? Yes, and you experience that field of nothingness where there was no I. That's it, you got a glimpse of it, which proves that you can be in a state when that is permanent and continuous. Yeah? So there is no localized knower there. True knowledge or Gyan is not an object of experience, nor is it an understanding of a state which is different and apart from the subject knower. It is a direct and knowing awareness of the one reality in which subjects and objects have ceased to exist. Yeah. When in that state of knowingness, you recognize, oh, in this only the dream character comes up and the dream world comes up. And then they collapse away. I, that state of knowingness, or more correctly, us or we, that universal field of nothingness is always there. It's an absolute reality. There is no understanding of it. You cannot call it a state of understanding really. Yeah? Because it is just being. You're just being yourself. Yeah? So he says, it is not a state of understanding. It is not something that you are going to experience. It is not something different and apart from the subject, yeah, the knower. It is a direct and knowing awareness, just a sense of being, a sense of awareness of that absolute reality, in which subjects and objects have ceased, means I, the witness consciousness, and the object that is being witnessed drop away. That does not mean that you do not experience the world anymore. Yeah? No. The duality, the sense of I, the witness, being separate from the object, that duality has dropped. Now I recognize everything is consciousness. There is no world. Ajatavada. Brahman Satyam, Jagat Mithya. This is the highest understanding or the highest level of Advaita Vedanta. It is called Ajatavada. Very experiential, very doable for each one of us. One who is established in this state is known as a Jnani. All good? Can I move on to the next one? Turiya and Turyatita. Hindu philosophy postulates three alternating levels of relative consciousness: waking, dream, and deep sleep. Sri Ramana stated that the self was the underlying reality which supported the appearance of the other three temporary states. Because of this, he sometimes called the self Turiya Avastha, or the fourth state. So what are our three states? Waking state, dreaming state, and deep sleep states. Yeah, these are the three known states. Ramana Maharshi says, oh, didn't you notice that this field of no-thingness is that in which thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions arise and fall? When there are thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions, that is the waking state. When thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions are absent, that is the deep sleep state. Yeah? And dreaming state is when there are just images or ideas of the waking state, thoughts, feelings, perceptions and sensations. So Turiya, or the fourth state, is the substratum or the background in which waking state arises, stays for a while and falls away. In which dreaming state arises, stays for a while and falls away. In which deep sleep arises, stays for a while and falls away. The container, the background, the field in which all this arises and falls, that is called Turiya Avastha, the fourth. The word Turiya itself means the fourth. Now, there are ways to teach a spiritual seeker. When he first comes, we teach him, see, you know these three states, but there is a container, a field of these three states. Yeah, let's call that the fourth state. Now he understands about the fourth state. After that, we lead him deeper into the self-exploration of the no-thingness, this field of silence, this field of awareness. And when he stays there, this can only be done in self-exploration. Just stay there, stay there, stay there. You realize, oh, thoughts are made of this no-thingness. Feelings are made of this no-thingness. This perception, sensations, all these are made up of the same no-thingness. There is no other material that they are made up of. I do not even have proof that this is matter because I do not experience matter. When I touch it, all I can experience is a sensation. The sensation arises, plays for a while and goes away. What is the sensation made of? Nothing but the same awareness, the same consciousness. I never experience the existence of this iPad separate from my consciousness or awareness. I only experience awareness. I only experience consciousness. How much ever I touch, how much ever I see, whatever I taste or smell, whatever I hear, in the end there is just my own awareness or consciousness. I have no proof that something exists outside my field of awareness, consciousness or no-thingness. That brings up a new understanding in the seeker. Oh, so this waking state, dreaming state and deep sleep state are nothing but the nothingness or awareness or consciousness. Oh, there is nothing else then. So there are no separate four states, there is only one state. That is Turiyatita. Yeah, that he will tell you in the next line. He also occasionally used the word Turyatita, meaning transcending the fourth, to indicate that there are not really four states, but only one real transcendental state. Yeah? Just one, out of which everything is made. Turyatita. Super clear? Okay. So that's what I just explained, but with the other slide. We'll move on to the last one, the seventh one. The other terms. 3 other terms for the self are worth noting. Sri Ramana often emphasized that the self was one's real and natural state of being. And for this reason, he occasionally employed the terms Sahajasthiti. Sahajasthiti means natural state. Sahajasthiti. Yeah, that's number 1. 2. Swarupa, meaning real form or real nature. And he also used the word silence to indicate that the self was the silent, thought-free state of undisturbed peace and total stillness. So when you were in that field of nothingness, did you notice that the quality of nothingness is to be devoid of things, devoid of thoughts? Yes? So it was a thought-free state. In itself, the nothingness is thought-free. That is why silence. Yeah? And Swarupa, it is my own real nature. This we already did during the self-exploration. We recognized, oh, it is who or what I truly am, because I am not the body, I am not that mind, I am not even this world perception of sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. Yeah? So that is Swarupa. And Sahajasthiti means natural state. Yeah? It was my natural state. I am always in the sense of I am. Take your mind back to childhood. Was the sense of I am there? Yes? In teenage, was the sense of I am there? Was it there when you became a young adult? Is it there today? Yes? There is no possibility of the sense of I am to not be there. It is that simple. Stop looking for a magical, mystical, out of the world experience. It is my Sahajasthiti, my natural state. I've always been like this. Yeah, the ego wants something, experience, some magical light. Some big thing will happen when I will realize the self. It is a very boring, stale, same state that you have always been in. The journey was the delicious part. Yeah? To get to this understanding, you went through a lot of different meditations and lot of different knowledge, and you went here, went there, that teacher, this teacher. That journey was the delicious part. Destination is same old, boring. Sense of I am has always been there. Yeah? सफ़र खूबसूरत है मंजिल से भी. Manzil is very boring. The destination is the same sense of I am that I have always had since I was a baby. Sahaja sthiti, my natural state. It has always been there, it will be there. Very clear? All these terms are clear now? Okay. Do you have any questions? Anyway, I think I'm 2 hours into the session. So, if there are any questions, you can type to the host.
My question, Didi, so far. Will it ever be that self be completely devoid of arisings and fallings? And if there is no arising or falling, still that Sat becomes Chid, that there is no arising and falling. Is this understanding right?
No, this understanding is wrong. When there is an arising, what is there to be conscious of the arising? The consciousness, that is called Chid. So when there is an arising, then it is called Chid or consciousness. Consciousness means to be conscious of. There has to be something to be conscious of, no? That is why the witness consciousness is termed as consciousness. Yeah? The witness consciousness has an object to witness, either a physical object or mental object. These are called arisings. When they arise and play and fall away, then the one that is observing these arisings, the one that is conscious of these arisings is called the witness consciousness. When there is no object, you have that experience every night in deep sleep. There is no object to be conscious of. No physical object, no mental object. So the consciousness nature sets and just the sense of being, which is Sat, is there. Yeah? So now your question is, probably you're asking, when I get enlightened? Ramana Maharshi is saying you are enlightened. There is no thing to attain, no state where you are going to get enlightened. You are enlightened right now. Only your mind or your man gadan kahani, the fabrication of your mind, the story that you have created is not allowing you to see it. That's it. Yeah? You're pretending to be asleep. Your eyes are tightly shut like that. I'm telling you, open your eyes. You're awake. You're saying, no, I'm not awake. I'm not awake. I'm not awake. I'm saying, just open your eyes. You are awake. That's all that is happening. You are awake. You are enlightened. Where is the sense of I am then? If you're not awake, how do you have the sense of I am? Then you should say, no, I don't exist. I am not. Can you say that? I am not. Who is saying I am not? Who's saying I do not exist? Are you saying that? It's not possible. There is nowhere to go. There is nothing to achieve. There is nothing to attain. It was all a game. You played a very lovely real life video game. The real life video nahi bolne ka. Real life game. Yeah? You ran. All spiritual teachers, all spiritual masters made you run because you wanted to run. It's not their fault. You wanted to run. You wanted, okay, it will be some magical experience, some mystical experience. One day I'm going to get there. Where are you going to get in your dream? How much ever you run, you're still going to wake up in bed only. That is the truth. Yeah, that is the truth. A spiritual seeker who has just started the path is not ready to swallow this kind of truth. He wants something. His ego is lusting about spiritual knowledge, spiritual scriptures. Read this, listen to that, do this meditation, do that, this kundalini and that yoga, and this will happen. Okay, do. Dance. You want to dance, you dance. Finally, you come to an Advaita Vedanta class and you wake up. Oh, what was I doing? No problem, you enjoyed that journey also. Yes, now at least wake up. Yeah? Stop these eyes tightly shut. It's a pretend. It's really pretending to be asleep. You are awake. It is not special. That is the problem. Your ego wants something special. Have you noticed? The ego wants, oh, it should be challenging. So then the ego can claim, see, I went and I got this. See, I got the most challenging thing done. The ego wants it to be a difficult thing. It's not. Simple, boring sense of I am, which you've had since childhood. Yeah? For that, this whole life you played a drama. And some of you will still continue. You will still continue because that ego is still waiting. Nahi, something I will get from this. Okay, khelo. Play. Yeah. So now if these 7 terms are very, very clear, then the whole chapter will be very clear. Yeah? So see that you revise them once before tomorrow's session. Read it once again. See if you can remember the self-exploration meditation. The video won't be ready by tomorrow. Just see if you can remember the steps. Do it again. Yeah? And recognize, oh, I am that. Yeah? I am already that. What am I trying to do? Where am I trying to go? There is nowhere to go. Yes, Ramana Maharshi teaches you to only one truth. You are already at home. Yeah? Just wake up.
Didi, there is a misconception that the knower is the ego and there are questions around it. Can you please clarify that the knower is not the ego or is the ego?
Okay. So when I, the consciousness, the field of nothingness, God, I forget myself. When God forgets himself or God wants to play with not God, yeah, he projects as an I. The I is false. There is no individual personal I. The I is also projection. Basically, it's a dream. Like you project your dream in the night. You create a dream character. You become the dream character. You wear that space suit and you are flying in space. Yeah? So you became the dream character. Like that, the nothingness or the consciousness. Again and again, this is experiential. You forget yourself, that nothingness, and you become the thought. You become the I thought. That is when I am that ego. And then I want something, I don't want something, I like something, I don't like something. The mind is projected. Yes? From that, sensations are projected and a belief develops that I have a physical body. And a belief develops that there is a physical world here. Exactly the way it happens in your dream in the night. You believe that to be true. If there is a tiger running behind you in your dream, you actually feel the fear. Exactly the same thing happens here. You really believe that there is this financial problem, this job problem, or this problem with the family member. You hold on to it. Then you like it, you dislike it. You create the drama around that belief. Yeah? So you have become the ego. So now you know only the ego. When you come to Advaita, you are told, The ego is the one who gets consumed in the drama. Separate yourself from the drama and just be the witness. It's the same ego. Did you realize that? When I'm consumed in the drama, I was the ego. I like this, I don't like this, don't do this to me, how dare you say this to me, I am greater than you. I am the ego. When I learn to separate myself out and just observe the thoughts and the feelings that are arising, I am the witness. It's the same ego still. So when Nisargadatta Maharaj is telling you, observe the sense of I am, you are observing that ego only. And then you take a step back and you witness. You're still observing the ego, but now this ego has a different label. It's called the witness. And why is this important? Because this is a stepping stone to dropping the witness and the witnessed object and just recognizing the sense of being. Do you get it? It is so simple. It will drop. Just go look for the I. Can I find an I? Do the self-exploration today. Can I find the I? Big I, no? Okay, I the witness. Okay, chalo, witness. Let me find the witness. Go looking for that I the witness. Can you find it? You'll notice that it disappears. It collapses into that field of nothingness. Now you just be there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Staying there, you'll become steady, you'll become stronger, you'll start recognizing, see how the I comes up. It's a fraud I. There's no real I, it's a fraud. Chor hai. Yeah? Again you observe its disappearance, again you observe its appearance, again observe its disappearance. This is called self-exploration. Ekta cannot do it for you. Ekta's awakening cannot be your awakening. You will have to make that effort of sitting and doing the self-exploration and observing how it disappears, again it appears, again it disappears. It plays this drama. And the moment it comes up, it attaches to thoughts, it attaches to feelings, says my thoughts, my feelings. Yeah? Then it's consumed again in the world. You make this self-exploration number one priority. Come what may, I'm going to figure this out today. Does the I really exist? Can I prove Ekta wrong? Okay? Take this up as a homework from Ekta only. Prove Ekta wrong. Prove Ramana wrong. I exist. I'm telling you I exist. You prove it to me how I exist. Okay? That's your homework for the day. Do your own self-exploration and recognize that I itself is nothing but the beginning of your dream. How you go into your dream in the night, the dream character comes up. That is the I in the dream. When the dream only is not real, when your dream world is not real, that I in the dream is real. How? What is the logic? You see what I'm saying? Yeah? So explore. When you explore, you'll become very clear. Yeah? Then you step into the dream knowing it is the dream. And then you play. It's fun. Then it's hide and seek. Then it's really fun. Then you're really living life. Because now you know it is a dream. Now you don't take it so seriously. Even if the tiger is running behind you, now you run. Okay, come on tiger, come on, chase me. Let's have fun. You're not breaking your head against the wall and crying and creating drama and becoming whatever. Shashikala. Indian actress who creates a lot of drama. Yeah? You don't become the drama queen. You don't become the drama queen. Yes. Just by waking up. Okay? So, today all we do is again and again explore and look for the I. We read those 7 points again and again draw a parallel. In my own experience, can I see it as reality? In my own experience, can I understand how I am God? In my own experience, can I understand the word Turiya and Turiyatita? What does it mean? Yes? So when you get there in your self-exploration, rather than just listening to Ekta and clapping at the end of it, that is of no use. Yeah? When you get there through your own self-exploration, then you recognize it as your own truth. Yeah? So I insist, make it your own truth. I will never tell you to believe me blindly. This is not a path of blind belief. This is a path of experiential recognition of the truth. Yeah.
Didi, one more question about dream. It says, if this is all dream, how do I understand the dream? Am I part of multiple dreams? Am I playing multiple roles in single dream?
You have created your only personal universe. Like you create a personal dream world. In that dream world, all friends are there, all family, everybody is there. You only created that entire dream world, whatever, in space. Suppose you were with your family and friends. Like that only, this is your personal universe, your personal world. Yeah, this Nisargadatta Maharaj addresses more than Ramana Maharshi. He calls it a personal world. And we constantly manifest our personal world. Yeah? It's difficult to see right in the beginning how I've manifested the husband, the wife, the child, the friend. First you start with small things. You will notice you have a thought, you hold on to that thought, you believe your thought, yeah, and then that conditioning becomes your nature. For example, your spouse enters the house and you see whatever, that he's come late or she's come late. In your mind, you've already built up a story. This is where he or she went. This is what he or she did. You've already created the story. You've already believed your story. And the moment he or she enters the house, you start bombarding. And you suddenly realize that your whole story is wrong. It falls on its face. Yeah? But you recognize that you constantly project and manifest everything that happens in your own life. Start with small things, with thoughts, with feelings, with situations. When you start recognizing, yeah, I project, oh, I project this, I projected that. Slowly you will start recognizing that if there's an advertisement on TV and the advertisement shows you that you should feel like that, you start feeling like that. Yeah? Suppose an Apple iPhone, oh, you got to have it. That is the tagline of the ad. You start feeling, oh, I got to have it. Then you start recognizing, oh, mind has this tendency. A story either created by me or a story that comes from the front. In both cases, it's just a projection. The mind has a tendency to hold on to the story, to believe in that story. And then it becomes my conditioning. It manifests in my world. Then either you went and bought that Apple iPhone or created the drama with your spouse and it landed up in a 1 month not talking to you situation, whatever. So you manifest your personal world. This should become clear to you first. When this starts becoming clear, see, I'm doing this, then you take a step back. I'm doing this, I'll take a step back. I'm doing this, I take a step back. Slowly you'll start recognizing I can withdraw from manifesting. I can withdraw from projecting the drama. Yes? That's when the limiting tendency of the mind, which Ramana Maharshi spoke about, starts losing its control on you. It weakens and weakens and weakens. You become stronger. Who's you now, really? I, the witness, has become stronger than the object. So instead of getting consumed in the object, I've started observing a thought arise, a strong emotion arise, play, and go away. I did not react. Now I've started taking that step back. I've started being stronger and stronger. And now I recognize, oh, when I want, I can stop the projection from manifesting into the nonsense. The thought will still come. Thought is because of your past habit patterns or whatever you have fed in the past. The feeling will come. But I'm not reacting to it, and that's why I did not manifest a horrible situation in the house which I would have done in the past. So you start recognizing when you experientially get the taste of this, then you will understand, oh, I have created this universe. Yeah? Despite it manifesting from me, I am not the creator. But I will get there. Yeah, you will understand that part also. Yeah, but I have manifested, I have projected and manifested everything here. This has to be experiential. I don't want to give you any more theory. You do a self-exploration, you really work on yourself, you get it. And then if you think, yes, I've started to get it, then we move on to higher levels of Advaita, which is Ajatavada sessions. Yeah? You start working. High time, start doing Atma Vichara.
If self is all pervading and jnana, how come the perception of pain or sensation in other bodies cannot be perceived by the same self, but I can perceive sensations arising in my body?
With siddhis, you can perceive other bodies also. There are yogic trainings. It's not that it's not possible, but it's pointless. You're still lost in this dream world. You're saying, let me feel the perceptions and sensation of other dream characters. I am saying, end the dream. What are you doing? You're analyzing more garbage of that same dream world. Okay, analyze. That is what is yogic training. What is the point? You're still not awakened. You're still not coming to your own real nature. You will get the siddhis. You can get whatever siddhis. It will take you 10, 15, 20 years of real intense practice. But so what? So what? You're still stuck in the dream world. This is what you need to recognize. Yeah, for that you have to really recognize, yes, this is a dream world. Start doing self-exploration. There is no other way. Self-exploration is done in silence. Not in discussion, not listening to 1000 talks. One talk is sufficient. You got a lot of pointers from Ramana Maharshi today. Now you work on it. Yeah, that's it. I work on it till I get this. Then I go for different knowledge. Yeah. Okay.
Why is it more difficult to drop mental objects like thoughts and feelings than the physical objects, pain or pleasure?
There are some older people in the group. Ask them, is it very easy to drop pain? No, it depends on your own attachment, no dear? For you, thoughts and feelings are very strong. For somebody else, pain in the body could be excruciating. That person cannot even think. The pain is so excruciating. Yeah, some people lead a painful life. So you cannot say, no, it is only like this. We all have different attachments because of our own manifestation. Whatever we have projected, we have manifested, we will have to experience it. We will have to go through it. Yeah. So stop analyzing the dream. You're still stuck in analyzing the dream world, the dream body. I am saying, wake up. Get out of the dream. Yes? Analyzing, oh, in the dream world, the dream characters, dream thoughts. Oh, it's so difficult to get over dream thoughts. I'm saying wake up from the dream. Stop analyzing the dream world.
What are we so attracted to that we are unable to identify the reality?
Your own story creation. You have created the story, no? Okay, ask a writer. If he writes a book, see how attached he is to his book. Yeah. Some of you might have some creative hobbies. You might do painting or some music. You create something new. See how attached you get to that. Yeah. This is your own personal world. You have manifested it. You have projected it. You have created it. So the ego that has created it is very attached to it. It feels it possesses it. The ego feels, oh, I have built this mansion and now you're telling me this mansion is a dream? I'm not going to believe it. Notice that part of you that does not believe it. If it is not there now, no, it will come soon after this session. You will notice it. Yeah, the ego does not want its mansion to crumble. And you are telling the ego, you do not exist and your world also does not exist. So it's going to resist it, no? Yeah. That resistance is what you are experiencing.
One last question. Is Turyatita experience exist even in the dream state or only in the awakening state? I'm only able to experience in awakening state. What to do to experience in dream state?
You don't have to experience Turyatita in the individual states. You know what you're saying? You're saying, how do I experience the space in this room? These are just intellectual analogies given to the sense of I am. You are. You're saying, how do I experience I am? You are. Who wants to experience I? You're saying, I want to experience I. I'm saying, you're already experiencing I. Yeah, Turyatita, big word. It is not a very big thing, very difficult thing to experience. The same sense of being is there right now. You have the sense of I am. I exist. Do you have that sense? How many of you say I do not exist? You can't say I do not exist. That means you have the sense of I am. I exist right now. Correct? In the dream state, do you exist? Yes. Otherwise, how would you know you're dreaming? How do you even know that you saw that dream that night? Because obviously I was dreaming. In the deep sleep state, are you there? No, you're not there? Then who wakes up in the morning and says, I slept so well last night? Who slept well? Who knows? That means I was there in deep sleep. I experienced the absence of thoughts, feelings, perception and sensations. And I just was in Ananda. That's why when I wake up in the morning, I say, I slept so soundly. That means I am awake, I am dreaming, I am in deep sleep. I am is there throughout. I am is the substratum. Is there a separate waking state made of a separate material than the I am? Can you separate them out? Like you can separate water and oil. Can you separate out waking state from the sense of I am? Say, no, what? What are you talking about? It is all one. Can you separate out dream state from I am? No. Can you separate out deep sleep state from I am? No. Oh, there are no four states. There is just the sense of being. तुर्यातीता. इतना simple है. It is that simple. Only the mind complicates it. Mind wants it to be hard. No, it has to be difficult. How can it be so easy? Yeah, like Maharaj's words. Nisargadatta Maharaj says, it is disconcertingly simple. Yeah. It's so simple. It's so right in your face that you don't see it. The sense of I am. So today, just sit and explore. Just sit and explore. You should be able to understand Turyatita also in your own experience. Not intellectually, experientially. Yeah.
No more questions, Didi.
Okay, good. Okay. So then I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Join 1 hour earlier. Sit and do the silent meditations. Ramana Maharshi taught silent meditations first. That was his first teaching. You just come, sit silently and you go home. Finish. That's it. Only silence can you be in the state of no-thingness, no? Even right now I'm talking to you. Are you in the state of no-thingness? You're in the mind. Yeah, you get consumed in the mind. You do not get that taste of no-thingness. People who are experts are in no-thingness even while listening. Yeah, but I am a beginner. I am still not an expert. I am not there that I can do it while walking, talking, listening. So I be humble, I accept it, be honest, and I practice being in silence. Yes? So today, as much as possible, let's be in silence. Speak only when required. Again and again be in that state of no-thingness. Yeah? Bear the power of silence today. Okay? Then I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.